Party goes on in cryptos. EOS is in a rally, as is the rest of the crypto space, and everything is pointing up at the moment. However, we are taking a bit of a breather. It looks like we may be in some kind of a micro fourth wave consolidation before we get upside continuation. EOS, while rallying pretty powerfully, doesn't have the clear shape, but I'm not seeing anything to imply anything bearish in the near term. Speaking of the near term, this is the 30-minute chart, linear chart, and it seems like it was eons ago now, really about a month ago, that we had a dip. We touched $1.86, and then we had our 5 waves up, and we almost invalidated our bullish impulse. That's right, namesake of the channel. And we've had a corrective wave, and it can't be considered anything but that because we've rallied well past that original top. So work on this a 1, a 2, maybe it's a truncated C wave in the second wave, whatever it was. Ever since we hit that, I guess, tertiary bottom on March 13th, it's been nothing but upside for us in EOS. So you can see how this thing has outrun my pattern that I had here. This is basically dead, which isn't a bad thing. Where does this actually fall? Where's the 1, 2? Where's the 3? I don't know. I could kind of put it like this. It looks awfully shallow for a 1, 2. Maybe that's a 3 there. I don't know, and it doesn't really matter. Whatever is the case, we're looking for a bit more upside continuation. As a matter of fact, if we take our fib extension tool and base it off this orange wave 1 we have here, which is barely visible, so if I move that out of the way, do that. We've gone well past any sane extensions, but this is EOS. A lot of you guys are EOS veterans. You guys know how this works. EOS doesn't care once it gets going, but it does take a while to get going over the longer term. So speaking of the longer term, this is the logarithmic chart, long-term daily view. This is available in the link below in the description, so check it out there. But I have made some changes, mainly that, namely it's the green pattern being primary. I don't think I had that written out properly last time, but green is primary and it has been primary, and simple as that. It's time to rally. We're doing what we need to do to convince ourselves that the bottom is in, and well, we're looking for more upside. We got a lot of room overhead to get this blue-green box. That said, the red pattern still looms below. I don't see this as a strong possibility, and the same goes with pretty much every crypto. We were very oversold. EOS is one of those cryptos that actually did pull back more than sufficiently enough to give us a convincing second wave finish. Got an A, B, and a C. As a matter of fact, if I recall correctly, may have actually almost hit a 1-to-1 ratio. I think 0.764 extension, the A wave to the C wave. We had that black hole below, which still sits there. I don't see us visiting that anytime soon. We'd have to see some serious downside action to bring that anywhere near primary consideration. And finally, the MACD, MACD, we've seen divergences with each lower low. Our divergences have become, our MACD has become less stretched. So that's a very clear bottoming sign. The same is seen in the equity space, not just in cryptos, where we have also had very similar patterns in sentiment shifting. We've gone full bullish. I think the S&P was at 4110 not that long ago. We're already well past 4600 now. So the sentiment driving that is possibly or very likely driving cryptos as well, which is actually not that far a question because it's open to a lot of retail customers. So that being said, what do we expect next? I do expect a bit higher of a rally. So whether this is just the top of the first of 5 waves up, or we're going to have a straight shot on the box, or who knows, maybe we have a bigger 3rd wave, consolidation, 4th or 5th wave. I don't know. This box is based on this larger 1-2 pattern here, with the standard extension for the sub wave 1 being somewhere between 479 and 862. Those are the 0.32 and 0.61 extensions. So this is, if you've been watching my video, that's a pretty common exercise to predict or project where our sub wave 1 should fall. Now, stretching out to the bigger picture, there's some other interesting things. I've mentioned before that EOS does not have as much history as a lot of the other cryptos. So while I am considering this a large 1-2 Nessus setup, we don't know what happened before this. The best indication would probably be older cryptocurrencies, and most of them have this as being a 3rd wave top overall, like a larger 3rd wave of a larger degree. Some of them have this being a 3rd wave top. Not sure, but I'm going by what I have on the chart in front of me. So EOS has what looks like a 1-2-1-2, fits the proportions. We tend to have very deep retraces in EOS based on the limited history of it. So that is what we're going to go with as our primary pattern. And if that is the case, we have some incredible bullish upside coming in route. So when we look at this thing again, 1-2-1-2, There's some confluences when you take the Fibonacci extensions of these. Obviously, we would have liked to have hit the 0.61 extension of this larger 1-2 for our smaller wave one, which is exactly what we did. And then that would mean that our third wave, because this hit the 0.61, our bigger third wave should hit somewhere around 207. That's 1.236 extension, but that may be a ways out. I've drawn some I've drawn some channel trend lines, as you see in green and blue here, to give us a rough estimate on timing, but it is Elliott wave theory. And if you don't have a diagonal, it can be sometimes, well, a fool's errand. We're going to see if some of these things line up. There are other cryptos that are giving us better time predictions like Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum. So right now, let's see if we can get in this box. And after that, expect a relatively sharp retrace. I know I have the wave 2 drawn here. Don't be surprised if it's a very deep retrace, because that's just what EOS does. You'll actually see in our previous big rally in between 2020 and 2021, we had some pretty sharp retraces. Actually, we had about a 61.8% retrace for a wave 2 before we just took off like a cannon. It actually hit all the proper fib extensions, although the third wave didn't quite. So again, it'll be a scary moment, but that may be the best buying opportunity you're going to have if you haven't bought yet, or if you're waiting to buy again later. That it'd probably be advisable to buy when we get that return. Once that happens, we expect our third wave to hit somewhere between $22 and $40. That's the 1.2 to 1.236 extension. Those are standard targets. And after that, expect a sideways fourth wave consolidation. But being EOS, we expect a very sharp pullback, because that's what EOS does. So who knows? Maybe the fourth wave will look like this, just scare your pants off. Who knows? And we'll finally have our blow off, hit somewhere between maybe 57, 103, something like that. Those are probable targets for, well, the fifth wave of the larger third wave. And then finally, when we look further out, our bigger degree fifth wave would have, it actually has confluence. We're looking somewhere between, again, 207 to 378. That's the ways out. Timing wise, I did mention we have some channel trend lines drawn out here. So if I look at, based on the targets, let's say $22 is our target for that third of the third. Where those intersect is about February of 2023. That's what this is showing. I also have this Fibonacci time thing here that's based on this larger 1-2 pattern. Sometimes you have your third wave hit the you hit the third wave at the 1.6 point extension in time. So this is just an approximate thing. It's not a hard set Elliott wave theory rule. As I mentioned, timing is secondary. It's all about price targets. But if you go by that, that actually puts us somewhere in mid to late 2023 for maybe the bigger third wave top. But again, take these with a grain of salt, because EOS's history shows us once again that we start out very slow with very sharp retraces. And then once we get going fast, and we get going hard. So this is one of those cryptos that does that. It procrastinates, it puts off the rallying until the very last second, and then it goes absolutely parabolic. So do not be surprised if we see that here. There are other timing estimates. Compared to some of the other cryptos, I believe Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash, we're looking for possibly a third wave timing target later this year. So possibly October into November, something like that. We have some timing projections on equities like the Dow and the S&P 500. They are also showing a lot of confluences in that timing region. So that just gives you a very approximate timing estimate. We'll have much better estimates once we have this final 1-2 set up. So again, just to reiterate, this is exciting because we have a bigger degree 1-2, medium degree 1-2, and we're working on a smaller degree 1-2. That means we'll have a triple nested setup. That's the same setup I'm very excited about in Polkadot and Dash and a couple other coins. After that would come the third of a third of a third. So expect a very powerful rally once this wave 2 consolidation happens. Could catch you off guard. And well, that's the best time to be. Don't wait to buy until we get up there. Want to buy sooner than that. But of course, if you like one altcoin, don't just like one, like a bunch. Don't forget to buy 5, 6, 7 other altcoins, because you never know which one's going to outperform. Sometimes they catch you by surprise. I know for me, Polygon or Matic, that one saved me in the fall because it rallied way more powerfully than pretty much anything else in my portfolio. And right now, Ethereum Classic happens to be the lead horse in the race. Going to have a lot more updates on not just EOS, but various altcoins and crypto and Elliott Wave education. So subscribe, that way you don't miss those. And if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to give me a like. Till next time, thank you for watching and happy trading.